good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are from. Today, we are going to have an amazing speaker, couple, okay, Dave and Roxanne Obiso, all the way from Alberta in Canada, originally from the Philippines. Mabuhay! Okay, so firstly, there will be a lot of people from different places today. I can see Sokun. Hello, Susadai. Sokun all the way from Cambodia. We have Gary Yao from Malaysia. Hi, brother. Bindi from Australia. Welcome. Wow, melting pot of United Nation people here. I'm from Malaysia, but right now in Tokyo, Japan. Okay, so just can you imagine, just 3 minutes from here, from my hotel, is our Enagic Tokyo office. And guys, if you have not got this, get your hands on this amazing thing here called the Kangen Air. So right now in my hotel room, I'm able to breathe fresh Okinawa air. Kangen air, amazing. And of course, enjoy your amazing Kangen water. So guys, while we are just waiting for more people to come in, today is so special is because the world has evolved, and everybody is just asking me, Gary, how can I get my business online? How can I make it work? Like, I'm sure you guys have seen it in Okinawa. I mean, easily 60 to 70% of the achievers up on stage are somehow connected onto the internet platform. And this is something that we have to change. You know, there's a saying, time changes, things changes, people must change. If you don't change, the world will change over you. Don't worry, it will change anyway. So this couple here today, the little that I know about them, I've seen some of their videos, especially I've seen Dave and Roxanne. Wow, emotional, you know, how they started with so many difficulties, challenges. And I know because I'm very blessed to have half of my group, Filipinos, Filipino community all over the world, especially in the Philippines. And I know, you know, living away from family in a different country, different culture, how much struggle they have been through. And today they are living a life of their dreams, you know, all because of this amazing platform called Enagic. Together with the power of the internet, boom, you know, it's like you have it's like you have all the great combination of success into one platform. So without further ado, guys, please put your hands together and welcome this amazing couple, originally from the Philippines and now based in Australia, Dave and Roxanne Obiso. Welcome, guys. Woo.
Starter. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Okay, first and foremost, Dave and Roxanne, I'd like to say on behalf of the team, Kangen Power team, on behalf of whoever that will be watching this all over the world, thank you so much. I know you guys have a very busy schedule. You just told me you just drop off your son in a babysitter. So thank you so much for giving us this time and share something that literally will change people's lives all over the world. So thank you so much. Salamat po.
Welcome. Wala naman.
Yes. So okay, let's dive straight to action. Okay. So Dave and Roxanne, tell us, what was life like before Enagic? You know, there are a lot of people wants to know this.
Yeah. So we Roxanne and I actually met in a business. My background was I was an engineer. That's what I did. But I was one of those that I had a sickness called alarm clockitis. Some of you can relate to that. It's that when the alarm clock goes off, right? You want to sleep some more because you hate your job, right? So I wanted to just throw my alarm clock to the wall because I hated my engineering job at the time, right? So
Okay.
And you know, I took a leap of faith. I went into business, and that was way back over 10 years ago. This is even way before the Kangen and online business. That's when I met my Roxanne. I was actually her manager. So I manage
Oh,
Roxanne really well because I married her, right? Now she's my boss.
wow. Ultimate, the ultimate. Yeah.
I met her in our first, but before starting the Enagic and the online business, I was actually a general manager, and now I do this full time, right?
Yeah, like for me, I moved here from the Philippines to Canada in 2004, and I graduated as a paralegal, and that's where I met my husband in a business in 2007, and that's where our dream started. My dream was to help my parents in their retirement, but I realized that, even though we have great careers, it's not enough. It's just enough for the two of us and our future kids at that time. So we've been doing different kinds of businesses prior to the Kanjian and online business. So we failed in over 24 businesses. We've done different kinds
Wow.
of network
Wow.
marketing, and I
Okay.
almost gave up. But good thing my husband really have this dream that, you know what, we can have passive income, we can have financial freedom. If people can do this, then certainly there's something out there. And we prayed to God prior to the online business or the Kanjian in 2008. That's when we founded. In October 2018, we became in a Enagic. So that's where we started. And
Right.
I was working full time in finance, and then now
Okay.
we're doing this full time.
Okay. Awesome. So you guys had some prior experience with network marketing before, right?
Yes.
Was it the ones like the supplements, the household products, or what they call as the low ticket items, that kind of
There you
thing?
go. Yeah.
Name it, Gary. We
Right.
probably seen it,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. So did y'all have some kind of success in those business before?
It was interesting because I think the most
Yeah.
success we had was very little. I think we made, less than, I don't know,
20.
less than 20,000 in a year. That was kind of the most success we had. But because low
Okay.
ticket, it was very hard for us, and it was mostly offline.
Right.
So we stayed in it because we went to a lot of conventions. We saw the people that are winning in stage, and we knew that the industry was good. Network marketing was
Okay.
good, but
Right.
we just not kind of make it work. So that was kind of our experience.
Okay. And why did you actually choose Enagic as a business or as a career? What was it when you first being presented about Enagic that tells you that, hey, this is the one that I must do it? What actually attracted you?
Right? That's a very good question. Thanks for asking that. So actually, what happened, because as you all know, we're online, right? We actually saw an ad. And when
Okay.
we started in 2018, we were actually kind of in the lowest point of our lives. We were at
Oh,
86,000 in consumer debt. At that point, we failed in 24 businesses. We were this close to quitting the industry. We said, you know what? Maybe this is not for us. And to make
right.
matters worse, we were a resident manager of an apartment, and we got kicked out of that apartment. So low savings. And then we saw an ad. I remember this one point, Roxanne prayed this very powerful prayer, right?
I asked God to heal our finances, to lead us to the right solution. And I think months later, that's when Dave saw an ad. I think it's a couple saying, that they're very simple, and
Okay.
they're doing walking in the woods, in the forest, and Dave showed me, because he's the one that saw it. Like,
Okay.
hey, this couple is like, very simple, but they're doing it online. And I was like very skeptical. I told
Right.
him, oh, it's the same, those are like, scam.
Scams.
It's the
Yes.
same thing over and over. They're gonna, it's not real. So I think it took him a couple of months for me to believe in it. And
Okay.
after, I think in October, that's when he kept showing me real people, different kinds of people, Filipinos that doesn't speak much English, older than us, have more kids than us. So they're quitting their jobs, and that really intrigued us. And I said, okay, why don't we take a look into it? So in the online space, there is like we pay in the beginning, and it's a one-time
Yes.
fee, and then after that,
You
it
see
is
the whole,
refundable. It is refundable, and that's when we saw Enagic
the whole
after
business
the whole
model.
business. So when we saw the
Right.
Enagic, it's actually our friends, some of our friends here in Canada, they're doing it already. So we kind of know the product is good, but at that
Okay.
time we don't see the benefit in the business yet, because at the time we're doing our other businesses. But this one,
Right.
because we know online and the high ticket sale will be powerful. That's why we chose
Yeah,
it.
we really
Study it or
yeah, the difference like we saw, because we've done most of the business we've tried offline was all
Right.
low ticket network marketing businesses. This is the first time
Right.
we've seen high ticket, because we actually, previous to Enagic, we tried a high ticket online business affiliate
Okay.
product. And
Okay.
I remember, yeah, that was the reason why we said, okay, this is a good combination of online network marketing
Okay.
and a high ticket kind of business,
High
because
ticket. The high ticket that you did before Enagic, was it the courses, that kind of thing, like online training kind of thing, or is it physical product?
it was a travel product. It was kind of like
Okay. Like
yeah,
World Venture kind of thing?
it wasn't network marketing, so it was
Okay.
it was
Okay.
kind of like, yeah, so it was selling a $7,000 membership and you would earn 3,000 US, right?
Okay.
It was just
Right.
one time. And
Okay.
unfortunately, the company didn't make it. It closed down.
Okay.
But we understood the power of high ticket, that you can actually survive with one sale. And that was
Yes.
the difference maker, right? I mean, with
Right.
network marketing, one sale of a low ticket product, you have to sell a lot of products to actually
Right.
survive, right? So that's the reason why we knew online plus Enagic is just
The
powerful
perfect combination.
like
Yeah. Amazing. So so just now, Roxanne, you did mention that when you found out about the ads was connected to Enagic, then you realized that some of your friends were already doing Enagic, right? And you knew about it. You knew,
No, what
that
happened
means you
is
knew about Kangen water before the ads that you saw? You knew?
that no, like the Enagic one, like the offline, right?
Yes.
It's actually like, they're just telling me about the water, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
when we join the online business, they're actually not doing the online business.
No, so
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, so the difference between the offline people, they didn't actually introduce the business model to us. They just
Yeah, that's just the
introduced the water,
products.
right? So
Yes. Okay, so yeah, this is great. This is a great example to show the difference of the offline and the online. So let's dive a little bit into this point of view. So you mentioned that you knew. So did those people actually tell you about Kangen water and try to sell you the product before this? About
Yeah.
Kangen, did they really like ask you to buy? And what stopped you all? Why didn't you all buy, like, for use for your own usage?
At the time, because we're doing like insurance at the time, they're just
Okay.
giving us water. It's not like the
Right. Yes.
information. They didn't give us a business opportunity. They didn't
yeah,
really.
it was just
Right.
kind of doing the medical side of it, and we weren't really, we weren't sick. We didn't really, we weren't
Yes.
thinking of getting, a special water to help with our
Right.
health, right? We were
Right.
more of looking for an opportunity, I think, at the
Yeah.
time, and we didn't really
Right.
see that. It wasn't presented to us.
Right. And then when you saw the ad, and then after that, when you found out the ads was related to Enagic, what was your first reaction? How did you suddenly got the aha moment?
Yeah, so I was actually excited because we know the
Yeah.
power of high ticket, but the thing
Yes.
is with online they led with the opportunity, and it was very
Yes.
clear that it was a global business. It was very
Yes.
clear that like it was a solution to our
Yes.
to our money problems, right? So that
Yes.
was the way it was presented, that
Yes.
this can be the solution to we were looking for a business opportunity. That's why.
Amazing, amazing. So guys, the reason I ask this is because this is a clear example why some people who are selling the Kangen machine are stuck, because they are not even telling people about the plan. You are just asking people to buy, and you have a whole lot of consumer, and you get struggling after some time. You have got nobody to sell to anymore. You are the only one. That's the reason why when I'm in Japan, I saw so many Filipino distributors here. They are stuck because they just keep selling the machine. Yeah, the water is amazing. It can even resurrect the dead, maybe. Okay, maybe. But then you're not getting people to build the business. The whole idea is to get, in network marketing, is to get a group of people to promote the business. So you have a network of distributor that is having big production, and you are getting passive royalty income. Right? So, wow, thanks, Dave and Roxanne, for reaffirming this point that leading by the business is very important. I mean, some people do. I'm very sure some people do ask you or ask somebody, should we lead with the business or should we lead with the product? There's no right or wrong answer, but whether you lead with the business or the product, you must at least show the business. Because
Yes.
ultimately, the business is the one that is going to get people to do the business, not just use your product, right? So yeah, amazing tip there. So, um, so okay, first question. Because I'm just asking this as a representative of the people in Asia. You know how Asian is kind of different from the Western countries. So you guys are both, right? You came from Asia, but now you live in the West. So when you all see these ads, and it talks about all this, initially you said that you think it's a scam, but what really convinced you all, or what give you all the courage to take the leap of faith and go with it? Because I think you all came in not just one, but you all came in with like either trifecta, quads, or something like that, right? So that amount is pretty huge. So what gave you all the courage to take the leap of faith?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. So the way the online business is set up is that once you pay the initial fee, you actually get access to a private Facebook group. And in the private
Okay.
Facebook group, it's the testimonies of the other people that actually, you use the word convinced. Yeah, that's what convinced us. You know how you do your presentation offline and you tell the stories of the people that their lives have started to change because of,
Right.
because of the opportunity, right? So that's what convinced us, people from all walks of life, people that are young, old, especially Filipinos, because we can resonate with them, right?
Right.
They in business for 6 months, 1 year, and their life completely changed. I remember this
Right.
one caregiver, she in Canada, in 3 months, she replaced her full-time nanny income. And I was blown away, right? I was like, wow, if she can do it, I can as well. So testimonies are very important. Done the right way, it's what change people's lives, right? That's how I was convinced,
Yeah,
right?
another one aside from the stories is that because earlier we shared that we failed in 24 businesses, and most of
Yes.
those businesses, we tried network marketing where we had to approach friends and families. So we
Right.
became no NFL, no friends left, right? All our
No
friends,
friends left.
yeah, every time I messaged them, they said, "Oh, what's now? You know,
What's next?
Yes.
what are you
What's
doing?"
new? What's new? You know.
Because I kept calling them and say, "Hey, I have a brand new, I have a new product or a new business
Yeah.
opportunity,
Oh,
blah blah."
the same old thing. The same old
Right?
thing. You know.
Yeah. So what really got me, aside from
Yes.
like the income, is the ability to reach more people without approaching our friends and family. So
That's true.
we asked the coach at the time and say, hey, do we have to approach our friends and family? And they said that you can if you want, but most like this is online. So we teach you how to advertise in Facebook and YouTube and other platform, so you don't have to do it, right? So that really got us. And in the beginning, when we started the online business in October 2018, we vowed not to touch our warm market. We vowed not to even advertise in Alberta where we live. So we
Okay.
advertised like in different provinces in Canada.
We live in the West, we advertise in the
East,
East Coast,
yeah.
right?
East.
So
So yeah,
Okay.
so in the beginning, I think first couple of years, first year, 2 years, we really like block Alberta.
about 95% of our customers and business partners are coming
Okay.
from people who don't know through
Yeah.
advertising. So
So it works because but you can combine both, right? So
Right.
what we did, because we said, okay, let's try this. I'm tired of doing that, because
Right.
it's good. Like if you're some people are very good at that, but for us, we're not very good at it. So we master advertising, and we learned at the beginning we have no idea. We're not very good in videos in or advertising, but we learned the platform, and it really helped us to have long-term growth and expansion.
I see. I see. Just before I forget, do you guys have any prior experience or knowledge in social media marketing, internet marketing before this?
we
Before
have
in
ve-
this Enagic
yeah,
thing?
we have very little. It was that one affiliate marketing business that we had some experience how to use Facebook ads.
Oh,
That's why
okay.
we had a little bit of taste on
Okay.
using Facebook ads to sell a product
Okay.
and earn commission. So
Okay.
we kind of understood, but I said I wish there was a high ticket product that is network
marketing.
marketing, because now you'll have the power of leverage, people advertising, and just a
Right.
perfect match. So very
So
little
the
experience.
missing link was Enagic actually. The missing
Yeah.
link was Enagic. Because the internet marketing is always the same, right? So you
Yeah.
just need to put a high-powered engine into that car and it flies.
Yes,
That's
yes,
right.
I would agree on that one, because the other online business that we did, it's just one time, right? It's affiliate,
Right.
meaning to say there's no
You have to keep
residual,
finding
right? You
success.
have to keep finding.
Yes.
Like right now,
Yes.
I think for the past 3 years now, they're all like passive, right? Like mostly
Wow.
passive. Like now we're earning passively, and it's sustainable. We just came from the Philippines and Asia, right? We went to Japan, Hong Kong. So we were there
All
for
right.
3 months, and we
Money is
we
still coming in.
yes, yes.
Amazing, amazing. Wow. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate you guys. If you don't mind me asking you some very personal question, like what's your age, both of you all, roughly? You know, if you don't want to give your exact age, like are you all in
That's
your
okay.
30s, 40s?
Yes, I'm 36.
I'm 44. Yeah.
No way, Dave, you look like you're 30, 32 or something like that.
That's the benefit of being Filipino.
Wow, 44, 36, amazing. You guys have the whole world ahead of you, all right? So yeah. Now, guys, if you can just catch one thing that they mentioned there, once and for all, you can cut away the cancer called NFL. No friends left. Because if you guys really consider looking at this internet marketing plus Enagic, you can literally conquer the world without touching your friends and relatives. I'm very sure that's what deep inside you, that's what you want. Okay, so really look at this as a solution for this issue. Okay, because yeah, I mean, a lot of us, especially in Asia here, somehow, you know, in Asia, everybody is involved in some network marketing in their life once. So every time they call is the same thing, you know, hey, so what's new? You know, every time you call me is something new, you know. Wow, amazing, amazing. Okay, we're gonna dive straight into this business growing part. How long did it take you all from starting to, let's say, becoming a 6A? How long did it take you to reach 6A?
We actually, the thing about the online is that it takes a while to learn it. So it actually took us about 14 months to become 6A.
Okay. 14 months, okay. 14 months. So in these 14 months, what was the journey smooth, or do you all have, because I've heard a lot of stories, like a lot of people actually in their first 1-2 months, they paid a lot of money on ads, but they don't see results. Then some of them gave up, you know. Does this also like happen to you, your team, your community?
Absolutely, Gary. That's a good
Yeah.
question. Like for
Yes.
us, because we tried advertising a little bit, right? So we were so excited. We shot an ad, a video ad, right? And
Yep.
at the beginning, I thought it's gonna be a winning ad, meaning to say it will generate a lot of results, but it didn't, right? So it took
Right,
us
right.
a couple of months, maybe. We started October. I think we got our winning ad in March, right? March of 2019, right? So
Okay.
we shot a couple of ads, right? So in the beginning, right, you really, like for us, because I think what separate is the right mindset. So we don't
Yes.
think that, you're spending money, you're wasting money. For us,
Right.
we ask ourselves, as a couple, or as a family, you have to decide how much is your budget. This is what we also tell our team, set a budget, because you don't want to be running your business on a credit. Meaning to say, if you're just hoping that, what, if I spend this much, it should give me results, and if not, then I'll shut it off. For us, we ask each other that, hey, how much are we going to invest every single month? It's like a rent, right? If you have a stall, let's say you have like a store, like a restaurant, there is a rent,
Yes.
right? So for
Yes.
us, we consider that as rent. Like regardless if there's customers or not, we still have to
Right.
run it. That's what we did. So for us, we have our corporate job, and
Right.
we ask ourselves like how much. And so it took us a couple of months to have results. And then
But in the beginning, it's not about income, it's about skills.
yeah,
You know, you're spending money to learn the skills of advertising, because the only way to really learn is to actually be in the game, right? And that's the problem
Right.
with people sometimes,
mhm,
because you can't be good at something if you don't actually ride the bike per se, right? We could teach
Right.
you all the concepts of of advertising, but if you don't actually launch an
Do
ad
it.
and
Yes.
spend money, it's like offline. We could teach you all the concepts of picking up the phone, calling,
Yes.
prospecting.
Right.
Same. So you have to choose your battle, right?
yeah,
Offline, your challenge is rejection, right? Online, your challenge is advertising,
yeah.
right?
Like
Yes.
I remember we have one mentee. He's almost 6'82" right now. But in the beginning, he messaged me and say, "Hey, coach, I've been spending this much. I have 66 leads, right? 66, meaning to say 66 presentation. I still that don't have any results, right?" And I told
Right.
them, usually it takes about 100 leads to convert into one buyer, right? So I
Right.
said to him, keep going, because soon you're gonna get results, right? So good thing he didn't
Right.
stop, because now he's almost 682. So imagine if he stopped
Wow.
just because they don't see the results yet.
It's also knowing the numbers online compared to offline, right?
Yeah,
Online numbers are completely
Right.
different online, because you're dealing with cold
yeah.
market instead of warm market,
Yes.
right? So,
Right. So you guys have been with Enagic for how long already? Since 2019?
Yeah, 2018. So almost 6 years in
Wow.
October.
And today you are dash four, right? 6 8
Dash
almost,
four,
yeah,
yeah.
dash
four,
four, right?
it'll be five next year, yeah.
Dash four. Yeah.
5 next year, 6 years, or next year 7 years, dash 5. Wow, that is like going from 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 Earth to planet Mars in 2 hours. That's super speed, man. I still remember. I've been in the business for the last 13 years. I still remember in the early days when we call it the Stone Age. There's no internet. The early. I still remember. I was just 1.5 years in Enagic, and I went to, where did I go? I went to Florida. Yes, that's my first international speaking platform. Cynthia Briganti, if you all know Cynthia, she invited me there as a speaker. I see a lot of older people there. And I asked them, I say, hey, how long have you been doing this business? 8 years. What's your rank now? Very high, 5A. Like, huh? Now we have 6 7 years dash 5 dash 4. Wow. I think what was the biggest change from then and now was the internet, I believe, right? I'm sure you all agree with me. So
Yes.
again, what I want to dive a bit deeper into this topic about internet marketing with Enagic. So you have been doing this business for last 6 years now. What would you think will be a determining factor in the success in the internet world for Kangen? Is it ads? Is it content? Consistency? What do you think? I'm very sure you all have tried a lot of A/B testing. What works, what don't work, things like that. So what would you think will be very crucial for the higher chance of success?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And I think online and offline, the key is consistency, right? If you prospect only once, you call somebody once, and like you're like, I'm gonna call a lot of people for 2 hours today, but you don't call again, book appointments in the next week, it doesn't work, right? Now, the
Okay.
great thing about advertising is that it doesn't require human emotions. I feel good today, I'm gonna call. I don't feel good tomorrow, I'm not gonna call, right? Oh, my mother,
Right.
I have to drop off my kids today, right? With
Right.
advertising, if you have the skills and you find a winning ad, right? It can be
Okay.
consistent for you. In fact, it's going to work 24/7, 7 days a week. And I always tell people, right, how the online is so different than the offline is that it's kind of like Uber. The
Right.
taxi was here for the longest time, right?
Yes.
What
Exactly.
Uber did, they came with a platform within an old industry and completely revolutionized the industry, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Airbnb, the same thing. They
Yes.
go back to Uber, they became the number one taxi company, doesn't even own a taxi, right? So no, Airbnb, the same thing. Like
Yeah.
hotel chains already here. They bring in a platform, right? For customers advertising, they become the number one hotel chain that doesn't even own a hotel. we became a -4 without approaching friends and family because of a platform, right? And network marketing has been around for a long time. When we combine it with online, we got to that. We cannot even make in other network marketing companies, we can't even, rank up to higher, but when online is combined, you have reach, right? Because of consistency.
Yeah.
I always tell people, internet right now or business right now, network marketing, for example, is the best time to be in business because you have, tools at your disposal that wasn't available for you for the longest time, right? I mean, advertising, for example, right? If you were a big company and you can advertise in TV before, then you have a lot of reach. But who can
Yes.
afford that? Nobody, right?
Not everybody.
But now you can be side by side by big companies. You talk about Ford, talk about big banks, right? In the same platform at a very affordable 24/7, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
We have distributors in Singapore, UK, in Australia, Switzerland, name it, wherever, because you could choose where you want to advertise. That is the difference. It's consistent for you. It doesn't have the human emotions. I want to prospect today, the rain shines, the rain doesn't. I'm sad today, I'm happy tomorrow. You got to be prospecting day in and day out. So you have consistent leads, consistent presentation, right? That's the difference, the speed. And when it duplicates, right? Your advertising duplicates, you have an ad agency of people that advertises with you, right? That is the difference. People understand that. It's game. So going back to your question, is the consistency of the ads when you learn it, right? That's the key.
Yeah, like especially in the beginning, like for when we started, we were still having our corporate job. So I was a full-time working in finance. Dave was working full-time as a general manager in sales. So we have, once we put the ads going, right? So it's automated, right? Because there's emails and all that. So technically we just wait, right? We just wait. But then it's also a mind game because imagine you're spending money and there's no results, right? I remember, I think 5 months advertising and it's spending. And I got scared. I told Dave, oh, it's not working. It's not working. Let's shut it off. Shut it off. I got scared, right? Because we're spending, there's no results. And I remember Dave told me and say, hey, we committed to this budget. We're not gonna increase it, but we're not gonna lower it. But of course,
not gonna cut it off.
Yeah, we're not gonna stop it. We're still gonna keep going, but of course we have to switch our ads, optimize it, check the Facebook ads, right? So we still learn how to figure it out, right? Figure out how to better our ads, right? And good thing we didn't stop because after 3 weeks, that's when our ads are performing better. Buyers are coming in, business partners are coming in, and I think that's one of our defining moment that if we gave up at the time, then we wouldn't be here, right? So it's really consistency because even online business in Ajik, like some of our teams and outside of our team in the community, there are people that doesn't like the online business, doesn't like the Ajik because they're not consistent. So it's the same thing, offline, online.
They'll have their ads for a bit and they don't see results, they will shut up.
They will blame it that, hey, I've spent this much, but nothing works because they don't understand that consistency that, hey, I'm going to put this in and then it's not going to, get me results right away.
Immediate results. Yes.
Results.
Same as somebody prospecting online and, doing appointments, for a week and doesn't get results, right? It doesn't mean it's not working. Your skill is improving, number one, and number two, it's just the follow-up is the name of the game, right? So that's the key, right? So
amazing. Wow, that topic that you just shared just now is at least worth $10 million. Wow, it just blew my mind away. I think what you shared, which is straight to the point, is a lot of people forgot that when they come into network marketing, you're actually coming into a business, and that's what business do, right? Imagine you have a business running a shop. You're not going to tell people, oh, if I just put an ad or I put a signboard there and nobody comes, then I'm going to shut my business the next day. You don't do that, right? That's what a lot of people do. And funny thing is, the risk in traditional business is so much higher than in network marketing. And I always like to think about it is that, like, let's say when you all started, it's just that you all are doing ads and the business is coming to you. But can you imagine when you have 100 people in your organization doing the same advertisement like you guys, you got how much of an advertising budget in your team that you don't have to pay.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah, that's right.
That is the power of network marketing, and people don't realize that. Wow, this is just mind blowing. Since yeah, go ahead, Dave.
And to add to that, Gary, if you really think about it from the
Yes,
return of investment point of view, right? The cool thing about it is once you find a leader from your advertising, your return
yes,
on investment is just like from your ads is like
exponential.
exponential. It's like infinity. You can't even
It just
measure.
hit off the roof. Yes,
You can't even
yes,
measure
you're
it.
right.
That's the key that people need to understand in their mind, right? It's a numbers game, but in network
Yes,
marketing, you have to find the numbers, right? People
yes,
can't even get 1 or 2 or 3 appointments in a week or 4, but if you can get infinity appointment through advertising, when you find a leader, right? That's
yes.
that's when it changes the game, right? So that's why it's really powerful.
Yeah.
Mm.
That the talking about the exponential growth in network marketing, it leads me to remember when I first introduced the business to my brother John Lim in the Philippines. And I still remember when I went there, I was already a 6A. And you know, those days we don't even have the K8 to sell. We only have the SD501. So as a SD501, my one commission is about 1,700 US dollars, right? And I remember I told John, I said, okay, John, I need to leave the Manila. I need to go back to my family. And John told me, he says, okay, Gary, maybe the next time you come, I'll organize a group, you know. And I still remember the next day when I left, and I was having breakfast with one of my leaders in Malaysia, and he texted me. Those days, there's no even like any Facebook or anything. He literally texted me on SMS, you know, the SMS. And he says, Gary, good news. I sold 5 machines. 5
Wow.
machines at 1,700. That's no brainer. There's no brainer why people would choose to even think that network marketing is a scam, right? So yeah, so people should hear this information, and more so with you guys doing internet, Enagic. Whoa, I can just imagine that leverage and the exponential growth is just so amazing. Okay, so Dave and Roxanne, you all spoke about ads and being consistent and putting it even you in the beginning you don't see results. Can I just get a feel? What kind of amount did you guys like invested in ads in the beginning, and maybe comparing to, let's say right now, on a monthly basis? How much did y'all spend on ads roughly?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So when we started in 2018, 19, the landscape was a bit different in
Okay,
Facebook. Yeah, we didn't even do
okay,
YouTube at the time because we didn't know YouTube. So Facebook, we always
okay,
tell people, I think at the time is $10 to $15 per day, right?
Yeah, or
This is
$5.
sorry, $5 to $10 per day. That was kind of
five
a
to
good
10.
strategy. It still even
Okay,
work today in Facebook.
okay.
Depends on where you are. And in Asia, absolutely, those numbers work really,
Big,
really well.
big. Yes,
Are
yes.
huge. I mean, North America, because leads are a bit pricey,
More
right?
Pricey.
expensive.
More
Yeah.
UK because they have more affordability. Um, you know, $10 to $15 is a good number, but in Asia, $5 to $10, you get
Okay.
tons of
5 to 10 in Asia, 10 to 15 in North America.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think also we have also mentees like that lives in the Philippines, for example, and instead of like advertising in Philippines, they advertise in different countries that can afford. Let's say, I mean, not can afford, like anyone can afford, but let's say can afford because we're really
leading with
into
the trifecta.
leading with a trifecta, so meaning to say 3 products, right?
Yes.
So we target like Canada, US, that's what they do. Also
Okay.
Switzerland or New Zealand, Australia, right?
Especially with countries
Right.
Singapore.
that
Yeah.
have third-party financing like
Yeah, as
Canada.
long as they have third-party financing, then
Right.
we advertise.
Mhm.
Yeah, very interesting. Thank you for bringing up that tip. So, because I remember John told me after talking to y'all in the Philippines that I think there are certain criteria that really suits internet with Kangen. The reason why like America and North America is exploding so well is because of also the financing option. Is that a key criteria for the success that you guys are having? Financing option.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just been recent actually that we're using the Enagic financing because of
Yeah.
what happened. But typically, we don't even allow
Okay.
Enagic financing. We just there's third like in Canada, for example, there's a company called Medicard. Medicard, they
Okay.
actually finance medical grade products. So
Okay.
of course you have to
Okay.
go through approval and stuff, but once you're approved, it's third party. They will approve, 3, 4 products based on your credit score, and
Right.
automatically they'll just pay, they'll just send the money to Enagic, right? Because they work with them. And in the US, we have a few financing companies we now know, and in the UK as
Okay.
well. So Australia also has a pretty good financing. So those are the companies that have financing. We target those because we want our dollars from advertising that will go far, right? So instead
Right.
of
Right.
countries that we know that doesn't have third party financing, we don't
Right.
really target those countries, right? So
I see. I see. Okay. Wow. That's a very good that's a very good realization, right? At least your offer is there and people are able to take your offer without any financing issue. If not,
that's
you can be talking until the cow comes home and they will tell you, sorry, no money.
right. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Have you all had people coming to you all and telling you all that the business opportunity or the products are expensive? What's your response
Yeah.
if people were to say that, like, wow, it's so high price, trifecta, probably like 8,000, 10,000 US dollars, Do y'all face people like
Yeah,
this,
that's
or everybody just come to you and say, oh, it's so cheap, I want 2 sets, of this. What's your response?
no, that's a very good question. Yes, all the time people say that.
Yeah.
But the answer is like, if you're buying a water machine or even
Yes.
like a machine to turn that, yes, it's expensive, but if you're buying an international business that will allow
Franchise, yeah.
you to, we go back to their goals because we ask them on their questions that will allow you to stay home with your kids, or you want to replace your income, right? Or start a new career, right? It's
Right.
cheap, right? If you go to
Yep.
your other option is to buy a franchise. Your other option is to,
Yes.
go back to a 4-year degree, right? Your other
Yes.
option, whatever it is, right? It's way more
Yep.
expensive if you're looking to earn more money. But if you're
Yes.
if you're looking to buy a product,
Yeah.
yes, it can be expensive if you're comparing it to products. But if you're looking for an opportunity that can make you money into the 6 figures or even more, if you're
Yep.
going to put in work, this is really, really cheap. In fact, you can finance it at, we started with financing 200 something per month, right? And in
Right.
6 months, we paid off that financing from the income that we earn here. So we use our story. We tell them, and that's what we do. So
Wow. Wow. Yeah. I I mean, it's like when I hear you talking about that, Dave, seriously, I'll be very frank with you. Because for myself, I came from a network marketing background. So I grew up in a network marketing family. So we were always taught about leading with the business, showing them the opportunity. The opportunity is the value of the opportunity is different. And I still remember I was talking about this, many years ago, even in the house of Cynthia Briganti when I was staying with her at one time. And people just don't get it because of course the water, Kangen water is amazing, right? But
yeah,
then again, you can see how much people put in terms of the need to make money rather than, yeah, a lot of people said, oh, money is not important, health is everything. But then you see them smoking away, drinking away, not
yeah,
eating healthily. But then they say money is not everything, but they do everything for money, they give up everything, they leave their family, they give up all their passion for money. So then we realize that what they say and what's in their heart, two different things. And therefore, if you show them the value of having a good money-making machine like Enagic plus with the internet marketing, really is a game changer. Wow. Thank you for reaffirming the fact on this, Dave. So Roxanne, I would like to ask you, you did mention about after some time, then you managed to get a lead, like a ad that worked. So how
Mhm.
long did it take from the first time, let's just say in terms of times, like from the first time you made the ad until when did you actually got your first so-called successful sale? Do you all remember?
I think because we started October, November, December,
Yes.
around 5 months, that
Wow.
but we made the sale
we
the
made,
first month
yeah, we made the sale our
from
first.
a few advertising, but a winning ad is something that will generate you between 10 to 15 leads per day, right? That's
Wow.
what winning ad is. you have an ad that would be very inconsistent. One ad, one lead, two leads, maybe not have any leads, right? But a winning
Right.
ad is you hit your target lead cost per lead, and then it generates you a lot of leads per day, because that's the key. Because imagine in the online
Right.
space, you need 100 leads to have 4 buyers, right? And the buyers is not even a
Right.
distributor yet. So that's
Right.
there's a long conversion process online, but it's very predictable with
Right.
the numbers, because it's not based on a human, right?
Right.
It's not about, I feel good today, I'm gonna get 100 reads. No, it's based
Yeah.
on the
Correct.
advertising. When you get that winning ad, we have an ad that ran for a year and a half
Yeah.
that got us to
Okay.
dash, right? We have another ad that ran for a long time that got us to dash 3, right? So
Right.
that's the power of an
And
ad.
also, like I remember, one of the tips that we share with people is that don't be attached on an ad. Meaning to say, let's say,
Yes.
because I remember,
Emotionally. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
don't. I remember, we created a video and I edited it. It took me like three sleepless nights. I put music, I put pictures, and we took it in a in a really good, beautiful location, like in a mountain, right? But the sound is
Right.
not good at all. Like the sound,
Okay.
there's a lot of wind and all that. So when I launched the ad, right, I was so excited. And after a couple of days, there's no good
No
results,
leads.
right?
Response.
There's no good,
Okay.
like I know what to expect, right? So Dave was like, "Oh, just shut it off." I was so mad at him. I said, "No, I don't want to shut it off. I spent 3 nights, not
Right.
sleeping, just edit this, blah, blah, blah," right? So a lot of
Yeah.
people sometimes are too attached.
Right.
But you know what? Facts is facts, right? Numbers are
Yes.
numbers. If it's not
Right.
giving the results, you have to fire it, right? So the lessons there is, of course, the audio has to be audible, right? If it's not,
Right.
regardless if the view is good, right, then you have to shut it off. If it's not, it's the same with hiring people, right? If you're
Right.
the owner
Right.
or the manager and you hire someone and after a couple of weeks, or like that is not the right fit, then you have to
Or
let
yeah,
them go,
if
right?
it's not producing,
Yeah.
if it's you hire someone in sales, if they're not bringing any leads, right? You fire them
Right.
fast. That's like an
Yes.
ad. But if they're
Right.
producing, give them more money, right?
Yeah.
Give
Give
them
them
more
more.
money.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
So
that's
what
the key.
what we did is that we set a budget in the beginning, and then the
Okay.
more money we make from the online business,
We reinvest
we
it.
reinvest it. We also ask
Wow.
ourselves, okay, what can we do to increase our budget? So imagine we have two corporate jobs, and then we said, okay, we took another job, which is a cleaning job. That gives us another $500 or $600 for our ad budget. We also rented our apartment, because so we live in a two-bedroom apartment at that time. So we're just renting, but we have extra bed. So we did another rent for that. So that gave us another maybe 500 or something, right? And
Wow.
then yeah, like for us, we also have Mercedes Benz at that time. Like but that gives us another a thousand
We
dollars.
sold it, right?
We
So
sold it, right? So it gives us more cash flow from other things. So we had to
Right.
sacrifice in the beginning. We know our goal. And then I think after we're almost 6A at the time, and I told Dave, when can we give up the second job, right? The cleaning job. I'm so tired.
Right.
And Dave was
Right.
like, oh, let's still, keep going, keep going. This is for our ads, right? Because a
Yeah.
lot of people say, oh, I don't have money for my ads.
Just
You
an
know,
excuse. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
it's not an excuse. We didn't have money when we started, right? But
Yeah.
we asked ourselves, how can we afford it? Because a lot of
Right.
people will say, oh, I can't afford it, it's too
Yes.
expensive.
Yes.
But you know what? What are
Mindset.
you willing to sacrifice,
mindset.
right? What are you willing to sacrifice for your dreams, right? So that's what we did.
Right.
We continue to sacrifice and to add on our ad budget, because that's either we present it, like we sacrifice our time or our money or both, right? So that's what we
Yes.
did.
Yeah, creates
Yeah.
momentum, right? Lead is the lifeline of the business. So once you get a winning ad, you just keep pouring onto it, and once you
Wow.
find the leaders, right, they'll just continue to do
Mm.
the same, right? So which is powerful.
So Dave, you mentioned that you have a winning ad that gave you 10 to 15 leads a day. Does that winning ad continue to go until like today, or you need to keep changing the winning ads, or
Yeah, like I
you can
mean,
just once you found it, you can use it
until
forever,
until
or
until 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 you see that
The leads are
the
going down.
performance goes down, you don't even touch
then
it.
you Okay,
Yeah,
then you create another ad and hopefully get another winning ad.
yeah. So it can go on for a long time. You can just relaunch it. That's the power of it. It's very
Right.
consistent. You can't compare it to somebody that's prospecting,
Yeah, and
right?
also another thing is, I remember we started in Facebook, right? But
Right.
because what happened to us is we got restricted,
Mm.
so we
Ah,
cannot advertise anymore. So what we
right.
did is we cannot advertise in Facebook. Like I think I was really down. I was depressed,
Yeah.
and we stopped advertising for like a
Because
couple
we're
of
getting a lot
weeks.
of results, yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, what can we do now, right? But
Okay.
we learned YouTube instead, right? So
Right.
for people that, oh, this doesn't work, or I got restricted, or I got banned, then we try a different platform. If some
Okay.
people are getting results from TikTok, for us, we're just advertising right now in YouTube,
For how
right?
many years now?
For
Okay.
since 2020.
To 2020.
So right
Okay.
now, for the past 4 years,
We're not in Facebook anymore. We're in
we're
YouTube.
just posting in Facebook, like our
Wow.
goal, our videos, but all our advertising right now comes from YouTube.
YouTube. Wow.
So
Is YouTube advertising more expensive than Facebook or
similar,
same?
Similar,
similar,
similar.
very similar, yeah.
Similar. Okay.
Different
Wow,
way to
that's
just a different skill. You know those ads
right.
when you watch something and an ad comes up, you have to
Yes.
skip it. That's the
Yeah.
ad. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. And so since 2020 until now, that means it's already 4 years you have been doing YouTube ads, right?
Mm.
What are the chances of getting leads? Is it good?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
absolutely. Yeah, we're getting like what 10, 15
Mhm.
leads per day, right? And
Wow.
the difference between this platform is that there's not much interruption. It's not as inconsistent as Facebook where sometimes they shut you down for nothing and you don't
Ah,
wait and all that. But we have lots of people in our team that are still in Facebook.
okay.
The cost per lead is way cheaper in Facebook. It's a bit higher in YouTube, but what we love about YouTube is that it's very consistent. There's not much
Right.
interruption. Never been
And
shut
then
down. Maybe once.
yeah, they're not very strict with the words, I think, because
Okay.
Facebook is more like social, right?
Yes. Yes,
So
correct.
if some people like, if you can advertise on Facebook, I would do it because they can see you right away. That's the beauty about Facebook. They can see you right away.
You can message them right away.
They
You
can,
can
yeah,
talk to them right away.
yeah. The trust factor
Right.
in Facebook is faster compared to
Right.
YouTube. We also have a way to connect with them from YouTube to Facebook.
It's a bit
So,
longer in
Right.
YouTube. But it's the same. It's numbers, right? If we can
mhm.
get the numbers right, then it's gonna work, right? So
Right. Okay, one more thing about internet marketing, which I like to pick your brains is a lot of people ask me, especially those in Asia, no experience or they're trying to do it, and they're asking me, Gary, how can I get effective content? So you guys started, I'm sure you all started your internet marketing journey with Magic through the Dream Team. Was there a lot of help on the content writing part, or you guys did it your own, the content?
yeah, so there's a lot of training about it. It's basically attraction marketing. But before the Dream Team, we did a lot of trainings with Ray Higdon and many different
Okay,
trainings on content.
okay,
Um, but content really is really teaching you to increase curiosity and lower resistance, right? So, which means that
right,
you want people to reach out to you. The mistake of people is that they always say, oh, buy this, buy that, or like join me, join that, right?
right.
People work with you. Gary Vaynerchuk talks about jab, 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 right hook. So you have to give value
Yes, yes, yes.
back later. So the content, yeah, in the Dream Team, there is a lot of examples of content, but the
Okay,
biggest thing about content is that you got to make it your own content, your own uniqueness, right? Because
right.
the niches are in the niches online. So what I mean by that is you have to find your tribe. You have to find the people that you want to target. You have to have a very clear mission statement because we're all in Magic, but how are you different online, right? Who is your
Okay,
people? For us,
okay.
the time that we actually really separated ourselves from other online business owners, right? Because there's a lot of online business owners, right? Is when
Yes,
we actually focus on our niche. And our niche was like, we want to help good people that are, that have
Faith-based.
faith-based, right? To
yes.
earn on, right? So in our lingo is like that. Our language
Okay,
in our posting is talking to them very clearly. Do you want to do ministry full time, but you don't have to make money doing that? So it's about mission. We have pastors that we work with. We have You know,
Right.
that was other people in our team, they focus on moms, just
Okay.
speaking on one target market, right?
Right.
Other
Right.
people they speak to, because most people's mistake is they want to talk to everyone. Everyone will join my
Everything.
business,
Yeah.
everything. But the riches is in the niches. You know, what's your niche?
Mm.
Who's your tribe? Who do you want to talk to, right? And then you build content around those people. You
Yeah.
talk to those
Right.
people. That's the key, right? So it could be like, you know, for Filipinos, it could be overseas workers, right?
OFW. Yeah.
That's the problem, right? You know, do you want to be back home with your family because you know because you're always away from them, right? And you
Yep.
build content around that. So that's the kind of a small tip around that, right?
And
So
also I think so right now, like as you learn internet marketing, the good thing about it is that what we learned before is that never mention the name. So in our posting, we never mention Enagic, right? But we talks
Right.
about the business, we talk about, you know, like we teach people how to start an online business, we provide a system, the products, the mentorship and all that. So they don't know what the products are, right? So
Okay.
because the mistake is that if you put Enagic, they will research it. So there's good and
Yes.
bad reviews, right? So they will judge you right away.
mhm.
So
Right.
what you do,
Again, increase curiosity but
yeah,
resistance, right? You want to provide.
Right.
It's not about features, it's benefits. You know, how does
Right.
it benefit them,
them,
right?
yeah,
Not about you, because if you're like, oh, this is
Yeah.
my company,
Yeah.
I'm enact, I'm water filter, all that stuff, right? They don't care about that. It's
yeah.
like, what about you? What benefit can I get from
So
this,
for
right?
example, right now, after this meeting, you can post that, hey, I just finished, you know, a mastermind session with, you know, fellow business owners. We learned so much, blah, blah, blah.
If you want to be in that
Yes.
kind of group where we're growing together, we wanna,
Yeah.
reach out to me. We can,
Yeah,
something like
things
that.
like that. Or you can say, hey,
Right.
hey, like whatever the story is, like, oh, this
Yes.
couple, yeah, you know, like they're immigrants like me.
Right.
They paid off, you know, over 86,000 of consumers. That's in under 3 years or so, you know,
Right.
like because of our business. You know, if
Right.
you are also like that, reach out to me. Something like that,
Maybe this
right?
could be
Maybe
Right.
this
something.
could be a solution. So it's really
Yeah.
like you're telling them, hey, because people,
And talk like
yeah,
normal people and talk like language. Right? Most sometimes people when they go into network marketing, they
don't say
completely
upline,
they
downline.
talk
Apply
differently.
downline.
We never say those
They
things.
become a different person. Right? Like, oh, but if you talk
Right.
normal, like that's that's when people can. You have to be relatable, right? Because the
Yes.
key
Yes.
about online is that the trust has to go up, right? If you have high
Right.
trust, high likability, that's the high chance of, so how do you do that? By sharing your story,
Right.
sharing your, especially your challenges, because people can relate
Yeah.
to challenges more. So when people look at our business page, they can relate to us because we talk a lot about our debts. We were in so much debt, we got laid off, right? People
Right.
can,
Right.
oh, and it's like, how did you get out of that? Well, maybe,
Yeah.
then we share with them. So
Yeah, if you don't have results yet, especially when you're new, like even when we're new, we
Yeah.
didn't have. So what we did is we share other
Yes.
people's success, right? And
Right.
of course, their failures, their stories, because people want to know.
Yes.
Oh, you have to think about them. That hey, I'm like that too. I can
Yes.
relate to these people, right? So the more
Right.
stories you can share, the better, so that they can relate to you. To
yeah.
you.
Yeah. Third party stories, right? If you don't have your own story, share other people's story.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what you say is very true. I like that term. The riches are in the niches. Wow. So yeah, a lot of people just want to shoot everywhere. The machine gun goes out. But actually, if you just focus on one thing that you are very passionate in, it's your true self, your true identity. I think that itself will be enough to explode everything. Yeah, amazing, amazing. Wow, thank you so much for this amazing golden tip. I think John mentioned that your sharing is so valuable. Um, Tell me, Dave and Roxanne, if you have a time machine today, okay, that you can go back to 2018 with all that you know now, with all the things that you know now, what would you be doing differently if you get a second chance to replay your journey in Enagic?
Like I can, for me, if
Yeah.
now I wish I I combine both online and
Oh,
offline. Because
ah,
remember when we started,
yes.
I said no warm market,
No
no, 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 no,
NFL.
right?
No NFL.
Yeah, no, like, because I got scared. I was really skeptical, right? And I want to
Right.
prove it to my friends, my families that, like
Okay.
I don't need them, right? So I would combine both, and I
Okay.
would more money in my ads.
Yeah.
And I will believe faster that, hey, this is it, right? This is because like in the beginning, I was still like, like maybe this will work, maybe this will not work. Just like the old business, old businesses that we've done,
Right.
maybe it will work, maybe it will not. So
Right.
I wish I will believe faster.
Yeah, and for me,
Right.
same thing. I mean, I didn't have understanding of what a winning ad is, and now that I do, I would have poured more gas into that, and
Yeah.
we would have gotten to where we are faster than than we should be.
Right.
So
Roxanne, you mentioned one of the things that you will do differently is to add more offline. Why do you think offline is important to you when you're already getting lots of results on online?
I think
Why? Yeah.
Yeah, offline means that I will let my friends know, like which is belief, right? We don't do
Okay.
demos, so I don't know how to do demos. I don't know how to. So I will probably I will post more.
we still do online, but
Still do
we would reach
online.
out to the people we know
Yeah, but I
instead
will
of not.
still, I will still reach out to the people that I presented and say, hey, I know I will tell them, hey, I know I've presented you many, many opportunities, but just to let you know, I'm doing the online business,
Yeah.
Right.
which is, why it's different, why this is
Yeah.
the right
And
one,
we
or
still use the tools online
yeah,
because
we still use the
one of our
to get to
mistakes
the
in the
tools.
beginning, one of our mistakes in the beginning is that we would we actually did offline in the beginning. It didn't work, right? Because we were already on a business and we would reach out to not all, but some of our leaders before in our other business, and then we
Okay.
presented offline, but it didn't work because like we weren't following the system, right? The system
Right.
is you do the webinar,
Yeah.
not present it
Yes.
yourself.
Yes.
Because if you do it that way, then they'll expect we'll do the same thing, right? But
Yes.
that's not how it works, right? You gotta it may work, but it
Follow
doesn't
the
duplicate.
system. Yeah.
Yeah, follow the system. Whatever system you have, you're working, follow that system
Yeah,
because you gotta make sure it doesn't matter if it works, it has to duplicate.
duplicate.
That's
Yeah.
the key, right?
Yes.
So
Yes. Amazing. And that's a very good point that you brought up there, Dave. Because I guess the saying is true, monkey see, monkey do, right? So if you have a system that's online, but maybe you said, okay, on an exception, I do this offline, I do that. Then the offline people that see you doing that, they will expect you to be doing it offline all the time. Then where's the system then? Right? So I guess that's very powerful. So once you have a system, just like you have McDonald's, the fries have to be fried this way, you just do it this way. No exception if it's your auntie that's going to buy, your mother that's going to buy, it's going to be this way, right?
that's let me share one more
Wow,
thing.
that's powerful.
Let me
Yes,
share one thing. That's a funny story because about 2.5 years into the business, my
right.
sister reached out to me. My sister, that's she's a 682 now. She reached out to
Right.
me and she said, I'm thinking of online. I think you guys are online. She said, can we do coffee? And I told her, I'm sorry, we don't do coffee. If you want to do the business, right? Take a look at my
Yep.
webinar. This is my sister. My sister's like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? You're my brother. You don't want to come because I want her to understand the system instead of me explaining it to her. I said,
Watch
watch the
the
full webinar. If you like it, make your own informed decision. And the key to
Right.
that is I'm leading her to the tools, to the system,
Right.
not me
Right.
explaining to her, right? Because I want her to see that, this is a duplicatable system. People just
Right.
watch the webinar. They move on to the next step if they like it. And if not, it's not for them, right? So
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. I like that. And I like the fact that Roxanne, you mentioned you are a dashboard today, right? And you don't do
yeah,
demo. So guys,
no,
again, my Kangen Power Team Universe Dash 4, just like I interviewed Matthew Jang, Dash 5 today, never done a single demo in their life. So don't ever believe there is this such thing as no demo, no sale. There is a demo that you can do automated, okay? Automated demo. You don't have to do it yourself. So yeah, fantastic. I like the fact that you guys are making the business sound so easy. There are a lot of people who look at our Kangen business like it's a rocket science business, right? Oh, I don't know how to do this. I can't do that. Now everything is just press of a button. It's amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. My last few questions to you, Dave and Roxanne. How do you duplicate your system? As in, and how do you get your people together? Do you all have, because I know I've seen through the years the online community, I see some of the people literally posting every day on Instagram, on Facebook. Does it actually tire you down by knowing that you have to do it every day, or how's your lifestyle like actually?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So when it comes to the activities of the business, we tell them what are the minimums and the expectations on how to, what to do so that you'll be effective in your business, right? So how to show up in your business. You know how we have DMOs, daily method of operations, when it comes to the offline business, right? Same thing with the online. There's DMOs, daily method operations. Right? We duplicate what we do. We post at least once a day or 2 times per day. In the beginning, it's
Right.
hard, but but once you get used to it, there's a lot of systems and tools to automate that. That's one. But as far as duplication, one of the great things online is there's systems already set, like webinars, that's a system, right? That's what they do, right? Our training system is a system. So, there's video step-by-step training, right? So we don't have to go out to the field or specifically train someone to do how to do presentation, how to do stuff. They just watch a step-by-step video training. And when it comes to meetings, right? The dream team, for example, we meet, every Wednesday, right? So every Wednesday is edition and 6A story and stuff. For our specific team, we meet once a month for recognitions and trainings, but for our leaders, we meet twice a month in Zooms, right? So that's what we do as far as extra on top of what the dream team system is doing, right? So that's
Okay.
what we do as far as duplication.
Yeah, and it will come to a point like the lifestyle means like in the beginning it will take a lot of your time because of course
Okay.
you have to put fuel into it, right? Now that we're
Yes.
in this position, right? We don't do a lot of like calls, like coaching calls, because we have our team of
Yes.
coaches, which is 5A and above, 6A and
Right.
dash, that will do the closing for us, right? So
Right.
what we have is really create the ones, because the dream team has a system, or I know there's also a different
Many
team,
systems, yeah.
many different
Yes.
system from
Yes.
online. So
Yes.
we always believe when we talk to John in the Philippines that you guys can have your own system as well. You just have to learn.
Correct.
There's like, so what happened is that the dream team itself, like the founders, they also purchase the training site. I mean, the training for, let's say, YouTube or Facebook, and they will train us. They will have like a video and all that. So at least it's already in one site for everybody to
Okay.
learn. So for us, what duplicates is that a brand new person, like, can learn advertising, Facebook, YouTube on their own. We don't, teach them how to do YouTube
Right.
and all that stuff because it's already in the system. It's already in the training
Right.
side, right? So
Right.
that's really powerful. So for us, the support is just every two
We just point like, oh, where are you? Oh, okay, you need to go back to here, this point. So yeah. So it's like it's not about you, it's about, you can't be in the way, because if you're in the way, it
Yes.
doesn't. So we just point, go to the webinar, we teach our teams like, oh, they're like, oh, I don't know this. Okay, maybe where are you? Okay,
yeah,
you need to
check,
go, you need
yeah,
to go here. So that's what a system is. A system is not about you, it's about the tool, right? That's the
Right.
power of
Right. Right.
it's
You are
all
just
about.
the guide. You
Yeah,
are
I
just the
always
guide.
yeah, I always tell the leaders, right? Because some people say, "Oh, you have a big team, you must be burned out." No, because we use tools. Some of our leaders are
Yes.
burnt out because it's always them. They're like, "Oh, they
yeah.
answer the questions,
Yes.
all
They
this."
do
Is like,
one-on-one.
that's
Yeah.
right. So I said, "You're probably in the way. That's why you have to get out of the way. Let the
You are
you have put
the
you have to point.
you are the
You
problem.
got a problem, right?
You are the
So
problem.
that's the so you can use
Yeah.
videos, tools
Yeah,
that
videos.
doesn't involve you, right? If they have a question and we created videos before, we just lead it
Right.
to the
Yeah.
video to answer the question, right? So
Yeah, and
that's the
also
key.
like that's a good point because let's say, because right now, now that you are
Yeah.
aware of the internet, online, don't waste the
Yes.
time to create in the beginning, create the system. Like let's say you have prospects or your team asking questions and there's no tools yet, then
Yes.
create one, right? Create
Right.
one and then save it. And then when once there's a brand new person or another lead, another prospect, then you can point them now. That saves you
Okay.
time. So
Right.
that's your job, because like we're thinking like like if something happens, let's say to the dream team, or like we can still create our own, right? Because
Yes.
that there's out there, right? It's really just
Right.
learning, applying it right away. So
Mhm.
yes.
Right. So basically, basically everything needs to be duplicable, whether
Yes.
you are there or not, just pointing people there. Rather than you have to, every time anybody asks you, you have to repeat the thing over and over again, and it's all about you. That's going to be a no-no in this business, right?
Well, yeah, either way, right? So
Right. And so do you guys, like, because I know that most of the events you guys meet online on Zoom, webinars and things like that. So what about face-to-face events? Do y'all have like face-to-face events?
yeah, it's
Like
interesting.
physical
Yeah,
events?
yeah, it was interesting because it was in our third year in the business. We were probably
Yes.
a 2-2, maybe. I don't remember. That was the first time
Okay.
we went to a magic event, right?
Ah,
Uh,
after the third year, you went to an Enagic event.
year, yeah.
Wow.
And it was just recently that we started to do meetups offline, right? So because it
Okay.
was all online. But the thing about online is that we've been with our leaders for 3 or 4 years. We've never met offline, but because of the frequency of meetings, right?
Yes.
Feels like we've actually
Know
really
them.
know them,
You
right?
know them. Yeah, you
And
know
then,
them
and
already.
then we meet off because even offline, I mean, if you don't frequently meet, it's still not useful, right? So we now started to, the first time we had a Dream Team convention last year, and there was 2,500 people. So it was the first time that we actually kind of, and then now for us, because I understand the power of offline, we're doing a retreat once a year with our
Okay.
team. So we go to Mexico. Last time, first time it was a cruise. Last year was a Mexican all inclusive, right? So we do offline leadership trainings.
Right.
So basically, we call it the Eagles retreat kind of thing. So that's we
Okay.
do some offlines, but not a lot. I mean, there's a 6 a meeting in
Next week.
Vancouver. We
Next month.
Mr. O'Shea is going to be there, so we're going to be there. So, but we do meet often online, and it
Right.
just creates bonds because it's the frequency of meeting, right? So.
Okay. Somebody mentioned we want some, I think it's Sinang from Cambodia. We want some scripts to write to attractive audience. Then if they interesting, what is the first question we ask them? Do, do you guys, like, when you join the dream team, do you guys have scripts, or it's still based on your individual thing?
So like it's the same questions over and over. So we do have scripts to answer the question. So for us anyways, when someone says ask us a question, the first question is, have you watched the webinar? That's the first question, right? Because
Right.
people are like, oh, what
The
about this, that?
answers are all in the webinar, right?
Yeah,
Anyway.
so you need to start with that because you can't, like, the common ground is like as Rahigdan says, right? Which part in the process are they, right? If you start answering question, you have to answer a question with a question. Have you
Yes.
watched the webinar, right? Like, oh, what the
Right.
product? Have you watched the webinar, right? If they watch the webinar, then you say, okay, the next step in the webinar, it should tell you what the next step is. So after
Yes.
that, we basically follow the process of where they're going, right? So that's what we do, right? So.
Yeah, like we always ask if it's offline, because we've done offline, not in this Enagic. So what I
Uh-huh.
will do, because if you're used to like offline, then I'll get a schedule. I'll get an appointment right away and say, hey, like you're interested in learning more about my business. Why don't we how's your Thursday or Friday works? Like how's your
Okay.
availability?
That's
That's the offline way, right? Because we know the
Yes.
script for on offline, so that's why. But for online, we always ask them, have you watched the workshop? Or if they don't, then okay, what's your email address? Like that way we can send you the link for the workshop,
And
right?
then if they say, "Oh, I watched the
Okay.
webinar," just like the traditional script, I watched the webinar. What did you like best about what you saw? They're like, "Oh, I like
Yes.
this. You look like you're a good fit. We can help you." Then move to the
Yes.
next step, which is to pay for the
Right.
149. Right? That's so it's
Right.
basically you're using tools, right?
Okay.
To
Yeah, don't like I think the mistake a lot of people, even in our team sometimes, is they talk too much,
Mhm.
right? They
Right.
say like, oh, this is the best one. It's 50 years, it's high grade, it's from Japan and all that stuff. You should join, blah, blah, blah. They talk too much and they say, oh no, I can't do that. Oh, you know what I mean? So you have to make it, like really like don't say anything until, like you talk to them, like, you know that they're interested, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The question is, can
Right.
you join the webinar? Yeah, you could. It's a free webinar. I mean, you can learn from
Okay.
it if you want.
Yeah.
It
Maybe if
talks.
you can send us the link, can send me the link in the future. We
Sure.
can drop by have a look how you guys are doing it,
I'll put it in the group as well. That's our website,
Okay.
davidroxanneobiso.com. Yeah.
Okay. Right,
So that
right.
was
Guys,
right.
the link is there. If you want, you can check them out. I guess what Dave and Roxanne are trying to say is very simple. At the end of the day, how serious are your people? If they're asking you question, are they doing their part? If they're not doing their part, they're just sitting there and just keep on asking, hey, what is this all about? What is that? Then you're just wasting your time. If they're not even serious to even look at the webinar, then hey, probably that person is not a good fit for you, right? So the previous interview with the star, there's one lady also in the online space from Belgium, Hannah. She mentioned, don't be too desperate, like, please join me, I want you, that kind of thing. And of course, it's a vicious cycle because you guys are getting leads every day. So it's like, I get 10 leads a day. If 9 says no one today, it's okay. Next, next. Yeah. So it's a mindset thing. Actually, I guess everything still evolves around the mindset. You must have a certain mindset that, hey, I have something good. If you are the right fit for me, let's talk. But if you are not cool with it, it's
Yeah,
okay.
and
What do you
that's a
think
very
about
good
that?
point.
Yeah.
Ray Higdon always talks about in the absence of progress, always fall back to position. So, for example, right, if you say, "Have you watched the webinar?" So, oh, I don't have time. I don't have to watch the webinar. 90 minutes is such a long time, right? In the absence of progress, because you want them to watch the webinar,
Yes.
and it's not progressing because they have a lot of questions. They're like, "Oh, what's the webinar? Tell me, because I don't have time." Right? Always fall back to the position. Position is they're reaching out to you because they want to know about the opportunity, and then you
Right.
ask them a question: What was the reason why you wanted to look for an opportunity? Anyways, that's the position you're in. They're like,
Right.
"Oh, because I want to earn extra income for my family." Then, it's like to earn extra income for my family, the requirement is you got to watch the 90-minute webinar. If not, this may be not a fit for you, right? So you go back to position every time. The position is they're the one who reach out to you and they want more information, right? So
Yes.
there's an absence of progress. You always fall back to position and ask them what is the reason why you're looking for an opportunity, right? And then you
Yep.
go back to that and say, you know what, this is the requirement. And if not, this may be not a fit for you. So
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Wow. That tip is really, really powerful. Guys, I hope you guys, if you are getting value from all this sharing by Dave and Roxanne Obiso, give me a 2. Come on, guys. If you are getting tons of value from today's sharing, give me a 2 to show them that you are just mind blown away. See, everybody is like, aha moment. Wow, Dave and Roxanne, we are enjoying so much that 1.5 hours just passed by like that. Amazing. Okay, my last final question to you before we wrap this show up. I've got the Dash 3 meeting to catch. Tomo just called me just now. um, Dave and Roxanne, now being so successful in your own way and reaching so many level of success, can you give the people who is currently watching this and the many more that will be watching this on YouTube very soon, what's your advice to new people or even older people in this business that are probably stuck, not getting anywhere? Probably they have, burn out their own list of people. Can you give an advice to new and old people? What advice can they, what action they can do actually to be where you are today? What's your advice to them?
yeah, I love that question. So I always tell people, when you're stuck somewhere, right? You got to go back to your why first, and why you're doing this. Because if you don't go back to your why, then because we've heard this many times, right? When you have a strong enough why, right? The how you'll find the how, right? So
Yes.
go back to the why first, right? And then
Yeah.
start going back to the dream, right? What is the dream, right? What is your dream? Why
Yes.
were you here the first time? Because you should remind yourself, because I remember the first time I saw the opportunity, I was so excited, I was so fired up, right? And for some reason you lost the fire. Because why? Because you got beaten up, didn't work out. You got to
Right.
get reignited again, and maybe go to a meeting if you need to, or go to an
Right.
event, show, right? Because you need to be reignited, you need to be excited about it. And then
Mm.
you need to start now, injecting belief in
Yeah.
if you don't have the belief in yourself, injecting belief by listening to other people's stories, success stories, over and over again, because faith, it can be exercised so that you can increase your faith again. If you
Right.
don't have the belief in yourself, and then you need to apply, as Jim Rohn would says, you need to take your dream and your faith, right? You need to exercise it in your disciplines, right? You gotta, what's the DMO? The DMO,
Yes.
you need to action, you
Action.
need to put it in
Daily
the
action.
way, your business, right? What is it you need to do? If you don't know what to do, then ask your mentors, ask your coaches, ask your uplines, right? What does it need to do? And then just the rule of five. What's five things? I remember, I think it's John Maxwell that says that if you have a big tree, right? If you
Yes.
hack at it 5 times a day, right? Eventually, right?
You will
Eventually
fall.
it will fall, right? So what's your five things? You have to start with a dream, increase
Yes.
your faith in the business and in yourself by listening to other people's faith building message every day, because the reason why you lost faith is maybe it's the chatter in your mind, it
Yes.
didn't work anymore, right?
Right.
The only thing to add into that is to listen to other people that believe in this thing, and then what's the five actions, right, every day,
Right.
so that you can start getting momentum again, because it has to start with one, right, action,
Right.
right? So
And also, I think for us, you have to really start with the why, right? Because for me, way I started the business journey, back in 2007, and I promised my mom, my parents, that I will retire them, that I will help them in their retirement. So imagine
Right.
that, like we've been promising them, and every time, we start another business, they will cheer for us and believe in us,
right.
regardless if his brother or his sisters, my sisters, laugh at that. Oh, what's this again, right? So it has to be more than yourself, because
Yes.
like when I almost gave up, like I almost not do the business, right? The Enagic, the online business. But Dave asked me this question. If we're not gonna do this business, right, in the next 3 years, right, what do we have?
Mm.
Maybe after 3 years, maybe we'll pay off our debts, maybe. But what
Okay.
if we do both? The business, we build a business part-time and we have our job, right? What could we have? Maybe freedom. Maybe we'll buy a home. Maybe we'll do this. But because of the online business, the Enagic, right? We're able to, pay off our debts of 86,000 of consumer debts in 16 months. We were able to
Wow.
quit our corporate jobs. For Dave, he quit his job in 14 months. For me, I quit my job in 29 months. I was 5 months
Wow.
pregnant at the time. We
Wow.
we did IVF, which is cost us 20,000 just to have a baby, right? And we bought a brand new home in 2021, and in under 3 years we paid it off. So 500,000 we paid a home, right?
But
So
more importantly,
more importantly, last year in December, I was able to retire our parents. So
Wow.
imagine that, longest time, 2007 until 2023, right? It took that
Right.
while, but is it worth it? So I retired my mom before she turned 60, right? So,
Wow.
like it's amazing. Now, for the past 3 months, we were in Asia. We wouldn't be able to do that if we have our corporate jobs.
you didn't quit it.
It's if we quit on our dream. So I think, how do you ignite yourself when it's, how do you keep going if you don't see the results right now? I think what really kept us going is our dream. And also, every time there's a convention, every time there's, like we every day we listen to
Yes.
faith building message. Every
Yes.
day we listen to motivational Jim Ron, Joel Austin, Joyce
Yes.
Meyer, like so that it can inject the. I remember in 2018, we lost our job, right? But we recorded a video, still proclaiming, we did affirmation saying, in a year from now we're gonna make this much. In a year
Right.
from now, we have that belief. So for people that are maybe in a, almost gonna give up on their dream, really,
Right.
like, ask yourself, what, like, if you're not gonna do this, what else are you gonna do it are you gonna do, right? You're giving up on your, if it's not for you, maybe you're giving up on your kids, and you don't want to do that. For me, I don't want to disappoint my parents, right? Because I promised and they supported us, they cheered
Yeah.
for us, right? So hanging on to those dreams, make you for us pulls us to take action every single day.
Wow. Wow. Amazing, guys. Yeah, I still remember many years ago when I was starting out in life. There's a saying, when the dream is big enough, the facts don't count, right?
Yes.
It's like, yeah, people say you can't do it. You already failed in 24 different opportunity. What's going to make the difference? The facts don't count. You can fail 240 times, but the dream, do you have a dream big enough that it takes walking to hell and back and you will still make it? That's
Right.
super amazing. And I guess, yeah, and Dave and Roxanne, you guys put something really, really powerful here. Guys, you see, our mind and our entire emotion is like a sponge. What are you soaking your mind and your emotion in? Are you listening to faith-building messages? Are you listening to powerful messages that enhances your motivation? Or are you talking, complaining, mixing with the wrong people, the losers, the people who thinks that all these are scams, you know? So you have a decision, because every day what you do is going to manifest into the results tomorrow. And guys, I'll be very frank with you. Right in front of us here are this amazing couple, but they're not amazing. They're not Superman and Superwoman, I guarantee you. Dave doesn't wear his underwear outside like Superman. That's for sure. All right. But what they do every single day, just like me, what I do every single day makes us extraordinary is because of what we do. So ask yourself this question: what's the quality of your action that you take every single day? Is it bringing you up? Is it stagnant you, keeping you in stagnant mode, or is it reducing you? It's very, very important. So finally, guys, finally, thank you, Dave and Roxanne. You guys have been such an amazing star, one of the best that I've done over the years, the last 6 years now. Thank you so much for all your inspiring messages, your motivational tips. You guys are amazing. Please, the next time when you do choose to come to Asia, put Malaysia as one of your location. I really love to host you. Come and enjoy time with me up in. I've got a home up in a villa up in the mountain. Okay, it's very nice. Bring your family over. As I say, ever since I started my journey with my brother John Lim in the Philippines, I feel half a Pinoy now, half a Filipino, right? So yeah, so we guys can chill, we guys can hang out. Thank you so much for this this session today. Okay.